Hey guys, Wesley here from Super SC Straps. Alright, today I just want to kind of play around with some of my gear. This is a flight bag from Survivor Town. Let's see what we got in here. Nice holster from Gearcraft Holsters with my Beretta. Alright. I think today we should make a fire. Let's do that. Put this to the side. Alright. So here I've got Tinder Tape. This is how a lot of our bracelets are actually packed. So you'll have gear and stuff inside this strap of tape, and then we'll put that in a heat shrink tubing, and that'll go inside the bracelet. So you could probably see a little bit inside this Bug Out Bracelet. The black in between the weaves, that's going to be the heat shrink tubing with the black duct tape inside of it. This is our Bug Out Bracelet. This one's about 9 months old. Pop the Ranger band off here. Got the P38 underneath. I usually put a signal mirror on that P38. Then you've got the compass right here, luminous compass. You have things such as tinder wick and Kevlar saw underneath the Ranger bands. Glow light here. Take it off. Got a whistle built in right here. Pretty loud. Ferro rod there in the center. And a ceramic razor blade, which is removable. One side has the cutting edge, and this works great as a striker. Okay. So also inside this are things such as aluminum foil and what I call Bushman wire, basically a metal wire. Okay. So instead of tearing this one apart, since I just want to show you these three items, I figured I would just have them separated. So this is how the foil is packed inside. It's folded in half multiple times. I've tested opening a bracelet after about 4 months of intense use to see if the foil would still hold up. And it does. You just have to be really careful opening it, because even though it is heavy duty foil, it can tear. Works good as a signal mirror. What I'm going to do with this is try to make a little bowl and then make a fire. Okay? So the first thing I want to do is get a fire going, because it's going to take some time to warm up. I'm going to be using the Tinder tin from Exotac. It's basically fat wood splinters. That'll be kind of my kindling, if you would. And I'm going to make the fire using my bracelet and using the tinder from my bracelet. And we'll make the fire right in. Making it right on top of that. How about that? I don't want to mess up my wife's table here. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is get our tinder out. It's under the band. I've used this bracelet a couple times. I've refilled the tinder. That's what the tinder weight looks like. Okay. See, did I bring a knife? I did bring a knife. Okay. This is a knife, the Hybrid 2 by JF Blades. So first thing you want to do to get this tinder wick to be able to work well, you want to kind of brush it up, rough it up a little bit, expose more of that fibrous. It gives it more surface area. The more you scrape it up a little bit like that, make it more, I guess the word's fibrous, you know, get more threads and strands coming loose. This will give us something to direct our spark onto when we use the ferro rod. And then you can use your hands to kind of fluff it up a little bit. You don't really need much, but since I have so much of this stuff, I'm going to make use of it. Now you can probably tell my hands are very unsteady, very shaky. So anytime I use the ferro rod, like, I look like a maniac, because my hands just like, woo, like that. Alright, so we'll put the whole thing in there. So then we're going to use, I could use the knife to strike this, but I'm actually going to use the built-in ceramic blade. You can use it while you're holding the bracelet. You don't have to remove the blade, you don't have to remove the ferro rod. Since this is the first time use on this rod, you need to scrape the black coating off that protects against oxidation. So I'm going to do a few scrapes to be able to access that silver lining, I guess you could call it. See how it's black on this side? I'm scraping to get to the silver. Okay. Once I get a little bit of that, I'm going to do some slow strikes to scrape that off. And now I think we've got enough, so I'm going to do a quick strike, and we'll see if we can start a fire. So most likely my hand's going to knock something off the table, but this should be the one that starts it. There we go. So let's get some kindling over top. Oh, this stuff burns so well, dude. Alright. We also have Ranger bands. Ranger bands, as I said before, these little black rubber bands. Got a couple here that are loose. These things burn pretty well. They'll sustain a fire long enough if you've got some wind and stuff and you're having trouble getting it going. You can drop one of those on there. Put it on this side. Alright. So while that's going, I'm going to create a little cup over here. We'll create a circle with the Bushman wire. Kind of give us a base to work with. Basically, I'm just making a little cup. I could take my time and make more use of this and not waste so much, but there you have it, just a little cup. Alright, I'm going to put some water in this and see if we can get it to boil. Alright, so there's that. I didn't really make the fire in a method that I could lay this on top of because I'm doing it on my patio here. Let's see if we can squeeze it here on top. Yeah, this isn't going to work, guys. Well, anyway, we'll let that go. It's probably going to go out. Yay, ultimate bushcrafter. We'll go ahead and open up this Tinder Tape. I'll show you how well this stuff burns. Most of the things you do here when you're trying to open up your bracelet, it's not like you're about to die right then. This is the sort of thing where you find yourself in a situation, maybe your car broke down an abandoned road, and you know, whatever the case is, you're going to be there for a while, a couple of days by yourself. Maybe you didn't bring your lighter or whatever. At least your bracelet's still going to be on your wrist to help you out. So you can kind of take your time, collect yourself, gather your thoughts while you're opening and accessing the stuff inside. And it kind of brings some peace of mind. Instead of panicking about what you're going to do, you can kind of take your time and think things through as you're opening this stuff up. Because like I said, it doesn't just tear right open. I wouldn't want it to either. Oh, and while I'm turning this open, I actually have some fire cord. Fire cord is basically paracord with that tinder inside of it, the tinder wick. So let's pull this out. Let's see what happens if we wrap this around the fire. Or around the bowl. Ooh, that actually is very hot, to tell you the truth. We'll see what that does. Hey, I'm just having fun out here. Who cares? Open a little bit of this Tinder Tape so you can kind of see how well it burns and what it does. So basically Tinder Tape, it's like duct tape, but it has a different adhesive chemical property makeup. And the chemicals or the adhesive in it is very flammable. It also has a lot more thread count that increases its strength and durability, but also the more threads you have, it's like basically more Tinder. Alright, so I've opened it up a little bit. That's pretty much the whole side of the duct tape. I'm going to take it and wrap around this piece of wood here. And basically the reason I'm doing this is you can kind of make this wood be a torch. I'm going to just use a lighter for that. Now, it is called Tinder Tape, but it's not used so much as tinder. Like, you can't throw a spark on it and it catch up. The purpose of it is just to burn for a long period of time. So once you get a little fire going, it's going to sustain that fire. So it kind of works well as a torch there. I'll tell you what, this fat wood here, man, that stuff burns, buddy. Anyway, I had nothing to do, so I figured, why not come out and burn some stuff. I'll zoom in a little bit for you. It's so bright out here, I can't even see the screen, so I'm not sure if I'm showing you anything or not. So you can see how that tape is melting and burning onto the wood, creates a nice torch. So if it's late at night and you need to do some hunting or navigate home, wrap some of that Tinder Tape around a stick, which by the way, it's rained for the past 2 days here and I just found that stick in the yard, so it's going to burn long enough to dry out any water residue. And you can carry that around as a torch for light. This stuff's still burning too. So about 1 inch of this red tinder wick seems to burn for about 30 seconds to a minute, just depending on, you know, how, if you're kind of roughing it up first or not. So if you get a bracelet that has, you know, 15 foot in there, that's a lot of fire tinder. I mean, you don't even need any kindling or fuel source. You can burn that tinder long enough to boil water. That's still burning well. I don't know, I figure why not come out and burn some stuff. See the Ranger band down there? Melting and burning. That thing's been burning for a while. But just to show you, you can make your own little bowl out of the foil that's in these bracelets. Again, this one's the Bug Out Bracelet. It's got quite a number of items, survival supplies inside of it. Alright guys, I'm out.